the exit.
So we are in the car, and I am going to Portugal. Mikey is not. Mikey's staying here.
Yeah, I get to go to work.
So 23 days in Portugal, is it?
Something like that.
Yeah. I think it's 23 days. Or 20 days. I don't know. Cool.
It's this one, isn't it?
See you at the airport. Hi there. So, this is my my second day here in, let me try and move this camera. My second day here in Portugal of my 23-day trip. So I will explain yesterday first. So yesterday, I got on a plane. Oh well, no, the first thing was me in the car with Mikey, and we were going to the airport at 4 a.m. And then I arrived at Manchester Airport, and we didn't really want to hang about too long because, let's face it, airports in England charge you an arm and a leg to say goodbye to somebody. So I was at the airport like 2 hours. My flight was at 7:50, and I kept looking at the screen to see when they would put it on, and it said they wouldn't put it on till like 8 o'clock. So I was like, fine. So I had a break. I went for a ciggy, basically, and I picked up a sandwich and some crisps and a drink for my ride. But then at 7:15, it was last call for the flight. So I was like, huh? Apparently there was some sort of delay or traffic up there in space, in the sky, not in space. So yeah, we boarded early, and it was last calls early, and then it was sitting in the plane for an extra 40 minutes, which, I don't blame anyone. I'm not complaining. I'm explaining what happened. That's all. It is what it is. Let's face it. There are always delays in everything you do. And so then we arrived a little bit late. I was supposed to try and catch the Flix bus from Porto to Coimbra. There was only one at like 10:30 or something, and there's no way I would make it. So I booked one for 12:30, which would have given me an hour to go and walk around Porto and see if I can get some snacks. But then when I was obviously a little bit late, and I did walk around outside the airport, but I couldn't find any shops. So it's like a commercial district area. So there weren't many shops apart from the shops inside the airport. So that plan didn't go so well. I got a muffin to eat on my bus ride. And then I got on the Flix bus. Nice, friendly driver. Buses were very comfortable. I had, you have a assigned seat. I was right at the back. However, I didn't want to put my backpack in the bottom of the bus because my laptop was in there, and I didn't really want it to get bumped or anything. So I carried it onto the bus, and I was planning to put it up one of those thingy-majigs, but it was quite full, my backpack, so it didn't fit. So I ended up sitting with it next to me. Cool thing, there was only one bus stop in between Porto Airport and Coimbra. It was Campanha. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. But yeah, so 2 hours on the bus. And when we left Coimbra, the bus was like half full. I'll also point out the airplane was like half full. Unfortunately, I did have someone sitting next to me, but there was one lady and she had all three seats to herself. I was very jealous. And then I got off at the bus stop in Queenborough, and it said Queenborough North. And I had Googled this area, and it showed like taxi stands and stuff, and lots of people standing around. But that's not what it looked like when I was there. So I decided, because I could see in the distance a McDonald's, so I'm assuming that's more like civilization. So I headed towards the McDonald's, and I didn't see any taxi stands or buses or anything there. So I continued walking straight until I saw a taxi stand, and I was like, oh. So it's about maybe 15 minutes walk away from the bus station. It didn't look like a bus station, but I guess they're making it better. So again, not a complaint. And I got in the taxi. I showed the taxi driver my address, and he was really kind, even though I didn't speak any Portuguese. I really do need to learn Portuguese. I feel like I'm annoying. I'm one of those annoying people that come to a place and don't learn the language. I can speak to them in Chinese, Cantonese, but I don't think that's helpful here. But yeah, and again, when I got to Espinal, there was roadworks, so the taxi driver let me out outside, and then I had to walk in. And as soon as I got in, I needed to make sure that the Wi-Fi was working, because I've got some work to do tomorrow. I work remotely, so this is why I have the opportunity to travel and work at the same time. And it wasn't. I couldn't get the Starlink working, and it locked me out of the account. It said that I needed the account number and passwords and all this other stuff, and I messaged them, and they kept saying, you need to do this or you need to do that. They seem to be giving me instructions about what to do with the dish, and I'm doing it, and it's still not working. And I tried to explain that it wasn't the dish that was the issue. When I tried to log in, it didn't recognize my email address, it didn't recognize my mobile number, and I used my Portugal number, and it didn't recognize any of my details. And I kept trying to explain that to them, and then it got to like 8 o'clock, and I think I arrived here maybe 5-ish, and I spent all that time trying to make sure Wi-Fi was working, and I did manage to. I did have to empty out the buckets in the rain room, the wet room, we'll call it, the wet room, because all the buckets were full of water. So there was a lot of rain previously, so I know that. And I went downstairs into the garden where we did all the weeding and stuff. But when I went there, there were lots of bugs, lots of flies. I'm assuming because of the lemon trees, some of the bigger branches are broken in half. So I'm assuming because there was a big storm, a lot of lemons have fallen down and have landed on the bags of weeds that we collected. So it's not like disintegrating into the ground. So there are more flies. So I'm gonna need to clear that. It was about 10 o'clock at night. I thought I had water, and I didn't. And then I had to go outside, and I couldn't turn the thingy-majig. So I had no water. I think I tried about 5 times to turn on the water. So overall, getting here and then doing all the other stuff was very, very stressful. I didn't have a good sleep. I kept waking up, and I suppose I miss everyone at home. The kids, Mikey, Pepper. But yeah, I kind of missed everyone, and it was frustrating. And then I didn't get food till like later on. I hadn't really eaten all day, and then I had no water, so it wasn't good. Um, well, I did manage to get the water going. I had to get one of Mikey's electric glove things because I couldn't seem to turn the thing. But the rubber on the glove helped me get more grip, I guess. So I do have water, and that is day one.